ഔട്ട് തരാൻ അറിയില്ലാത്ത യൂട്യൂബറോ?
No, one test class.
Chandan, did you say something?
Yes, ma'am.
Uh,
I
yeah.
want to this time city for lecture seat. Can you give me this link?
I didn't get you. Could you please repeat your question?
I want to Google Sheet for city for this term. जो लेक्चर के लिए होता है ना लेक्चर. You can understand?
No.
Uh, Google. I want to city Google city for computational thinking for lecture. Google Sheet.
It is available in the course itself, right? You can just check in that, like supplementary contents and all.
No, this I want to just for Google Sheet has a which day to which topic is discussed. So this Google Sheet. You understand?
Yes, but I think that will be in the course introduction part.
No, ma'am. I want to suppose you today is 11th April. So 9th April, which topic you discuss for city class? So this chart sheet for any you have any you have any Google sheet for city lecturer?
Uh, I don't know. Let me just check. Give me a moment.
I give me 1 minute. I want to show something. So his okay.
అది పొద్దున్న చూడలేదు మా అమ్మ. అవి రేపు వేసుకెళ్తా, రేపు ఎలాగో
I
కాలేజ్
think you can just check the YouTube links for the sessions.
Wait, I
ఆహా. ఆహా.
okay. This can you check, ma'am? Hello, ma'am.
Yes. I think similarly, it is not available for here. I think so. It is conducted by TA sessions, right? Okay.
Yes. For like this, you have
I think so. No. Maybe you can check the YouTube and then you can just get the links, but I don't think so it's available. I'll just check. Give me a
ma'am.
moment.
I want to just for a PYQ discussion. Which day you are discussing your PYQ for city? Can you tell me?
Generally, the
For
sessions will be, yeah. Generally, the sessions will be conducted on Monday, Friday, and Saturdays.
Monday,
Friday and Saturdays.
ma'am. I want to I ask just you that which day you discuss PIQ question.
Could you please check your calendars?
No, ma'am. There have no topic wise available for
No,
uh,
in No, in course calendar it is available, right?
No, need. Just
What?
so that this time start lecture for city. This time stress. This time math. Just like this. No.
Okay, I think TA session would be mentioned, I think so.
You not TA session. This is not TA. This is open session.
I think TA session would be mentioned differently as TA, like that.
Yes. Can you tell me that which day we will discuss PIQ question for city for computational thinking?
Hold on.
Can you check for
From
you will
31st, it's, I think for 4th also it's discussed on 4th of April.
4th April
Yeah.
or which day or another?
And from 4th April, you can just check.
So one day discuss PIQ. This okay. Which shall we discuss today, ma'am?
Yeah, we'll be discussing today as well. Yeah, before that, do you have any doubt in any of the topics, people?
No, I just saw this PIQ lecture. Like 4th April. So okay, I'll check, ma'am. Then I'll.
Yeah, sure.
Excuse me, ma'am. Can you hear me?
Uh, Madam, good evening, madam. So,
Yeah, good evening.
which year PAQ we are solving now?
I think I'll just so it was
Excuse me, ma'am.
22 September 1.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, I had few questions doubt in week 9 of graded assignments, ma'am.
Yeah, what's your doubt?
Ma'am, my doubt was like from question number 4 to 11, ma'am. Like it was like a set of questions, like the questions were interlinked, ma'am.
Okay. Question
Ma'am,
number.
like I understood like how you get the answer, ma'am. But when I go through the pseudo code, like I get confused in like one part, ma'am. So
Yeah, we'll discuss that then.
yes.
1 minute. I'll just share my screen now. I hope my screen is visible, right? Yes, people, is my screen is visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. Yeah, okay. Okay, in this, what is the question number you mentioned?
I'm from question number 4 to 11, ma'am.
Discussion, right?
Yes.
Okay, use the matrix collab computed from the previous problem. Answer of okay. So here they are creating the collab one, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so here they have created a matrix for n cross n matrix and for I in keys of book. Okay, they are just checking the pair of authors represented the okay. So it's like collaborative book. If author 1 and 2 has combined together to give one book in the sense of collab of author 1, 2 is equal to one value was added, right?
Ma'am, like from like if author high and author J or vice versa, like author J and author high, if they have co-authored a book, then we are incrementing the count.
Yes, let's say if author A and B are there. So in A and B combination also we are incrementing by 1 and B and A combination also we are incrementing by 1, right?
Yes, ma'am. But since like it is A and B and B and A, like the order doesn't matter, so we either increment any one of them, no, ma'am.
Here they have mentioned this line, right? Collab of auth 1, 2 is
Yes,
also.
yes, ma'am. Ma'am, but if we actually think like normally, like if author A and author B wrote a book, like some book with some random title, and even the same author but the reverse order, like B and A has written the same book, the order doesn't matter, no, ma'am.
Yes. Actually, why they are taking this is because here in the fourth line, they are taking I in keys of I and they haven't updated it. They are just checking first and last. Again, it was going to take the second book. Then it will take the third book, fourth book, like this.
Yes.
So that's why they are taking AB and BA also. Okay, so here the question is, use the matrix collab computer. Okay, they are just taking that collab. For each question, what do the A variable and B variable represent at the end of the execution? Okay, here the question is, for each R in rows of collab, for each C in collab, columns in collab of R comma C is greater than A variable. Which means, let's say the matrix is in such a way that it's 0, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1. Oh, no, I have to write it properly, right? This is 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 2. So 1, 0 has to be 1 and 2, 0 has to be 2. And here, let's say I'm giving us 3, which is 1, 1. And here 1, 3, let's say I'm giving us 5. So 2, 1 also should be 5. And 2, 2, let's say I'm just giving some random number like 4 like this.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now what they are checking is, initially what is the value of A variable?
Initially it is 0.
Yeah. So now they are taking the first row, in which we have to iterate through the column. Is 0 is greater than 0?
No, ma'am, it falls.
Yeah. So what it will do? It will just go and, so this if condition will not work, automatically it moves to the next iteration, that is 1. So now is 1 is greater than 0?
Yes, ma'am, 1 is greater than 0.
Yeah. In this case, so A holds the value of 1. And what is the value of B?
Ma'am, B is an empty list, ma'am.
Yes. So now what it would be updated with?
It is going to contain the authors who have written that particular book.
Yeah, that is the row and column. 0 is 0th row and first column like this. So 0, 1 will be stored.
Okay, so it's going to store the index of that book basically.
Yeah, because it's R and C, right? R and C are the index values.
Okay, yes.
Right? Okay,
Yes.
so next thing. Okay, what is the next thing, ma?
Ma'am, it will keep on happening until the matrix is like all the elements are being.
Yeah, it has to traverse through all the elements, and if any element is greater than this A value, then this A variable and B variable gets updated, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So they are asking which of the correct option for the variable A. So these are the options. So here we'll get the maximum number, right?
Yes, ma'am. A holds maximum number of pair of authors who have published a particular.
Exactly. So which is the option here?
It's like 1, 2.
Maximum is
Maximum number of books
1.
published by a pair of authors.
Yeah, 1, 5, and 8 are the maximum values. So in which they have books published by the pair of authors. So option 5 will be the answer here. See, answer 5 is the option.
Yes, ma'am.
Similarly, what is the option of a B variable?
Ma'am, B very holds the index of the author, so it tells like author who has published more books, like co-authored more books.
Yes. So here number of authors who has one note that maximum number of published no. The list of authors who has just one collaborator no. Author who has a maximum number of an author who has the maximum number of collaborators, right? Or who are collaborate. Okay. So a pair of authors who has collaborated more often, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So here the what can be the answer then? Option 3, right? Because
Yes,
they
ma'am.
are the one who has collaborated more often. So I think the option yes. Here the answer is option 3. Do you understand these two questions now?
Yes, ma'am.
Great.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, how about this?
I did not understand if two authors have co-authored a book and we're incrementing the count,
Mm.
and next if statement says that if count is greater than a variable, then put the value of count in a variable.
So the loop in.
Yes, ma'am. But I'm not understanding like what will happen after the count value is in a variable and R stores in B variable.
I didn't get you.
Ma'am, like I understood how the pseudocodes work, ma'am, but when I like try to answer like what is stored in a variable, which is count, and what is stored in B variable, which is R, I can't match it to the options, ma'am.
Okay. So tell me what is happening. So this is the whole loop, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Mm. So what is happening here? Within the column, they are checking which are all the values are greater than 0, which means they'll just take this one, which are all non-zero one, which means how many authors have did it, right? Like how many authors, author 0 is collaborated with how many authors, right?
Yes, ma'am.
At least for one book, how many authors they have collaborated, that is of the 0th index. Similarly for the, so in the 0th index, how many authors they have collaborated? Let's say here, this is 1, this is 2. So 2 authors he has collaborated with. So count is 2. Is 2 is greater than 0?
Yes, ma'am. Initially, it is greater than 0.
Okay, now what will happen? Now A value is changed with the 0, which means it is trying to take the highest number of collaborators, right, in the particular row, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So 0th row, he has collaborated with 2 authors, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
So 2 is the count, nothing but the A value, and the row value is nothing but the B value, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So B indicates 0 and A indicates the number of collaborators he has collaborated with. A author who has a maximum number of collaborators then, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
Which means the answer would be option 4. Yes. That is the B variable. And A variable is the number of authors he has collaborated with, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So now what are you finding it as an issue? Now you understood how this works. So
Yes,
based
ma'am.
on that, I'm just checking to match with these options, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Huh.
Ma'am, no, ma'am, like when I was solving this question, I understood the code, ma'am. Like I understood like what is being stored in that particular variable, but when I tried to match it with the options, I was getting confused.
Now you yourself said the answer for 4th and 5th, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Huh. Like nothing but you just read the questions because all the options are trying to be like little confused, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Because first one says the maximum number of collaborators among all authors, which means how many authors a particular person has collaborated with.
Yes.
And similarly, if you see the 4th one, author who has the maximum number of collaborators, which means one author is there, how many authors he has co-authored, how many books he has co-authored with.
Yes, ma'am.
So here the same person, how many we are counting, and here he is the one contributed to many other people is counted. It is like that. Just read it like slowly, just give some time and read it in a blank mind, then you'll understand the options. Don't get confused.
Yes, ma'am.
Got it, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Any other doubt in this?
Ma'am, in week 9 and 10, I don't have any other doubts, ma'am.
Great. In other weeks?
Ma'am, in week 11, I have doubts. I have doubt of question number 6 and 7, ma'am.
In graded assignment.
Yes, ma'am. Great assignment.
These two questions, right?
Yes, ma'am. 6 and 7.
Yeah, what is given in this question is two chess players are participating in a tournament. Each player is given a unique participant ID that is represented as a string. the player ID is stored in an the place in the descending order of their rating. The first element in the list has the ID of the player with the highest rating. The matches are scheduled as of ith matches between ith player from the top and ith player from the bottom. Okay. So they are trying to take like this. If it is second, starting and then the, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, sir, Biju, could you please mute yourself?
Ma'am, your voice is not audible, ma'am. Like it's hearing like it's very faint, ma'am.
How about now? Can you all able to hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
And similarly, third and third gets match, and fourth and fourth from last fourth gets matches. So we wish to create a list called matches, which stores the sequence of matches starting with the first match and ending with the last match. And each match is represented as a list of 2 players. And the first element of which is the ID of the player with the highest rating, and second element is the ID of the player with the lower rating. Okay, we have to take a combination. So first element should be the higher rating and the next has to be the lower rating. No 2 players have the same ratings. Okay. Yeah, before that, what is the usage of init? Init.
Who's the last element in this?
Yes, leaves the last element. What are the other elements are there? Then rest of,
It removes the first element and returns all the rest of the element in list.
yes, removes the first. And here it removes the last. So I hope you all know, right? First means it gives the first one. Last means it gives the last one of the element. Okay. So here they are taking the first, last, and then the middle element. So the length of the player should be equal to 2. If yes, they are returning the players list itself. And then they are checking the first, last is first player and the last player. As mentioned, like from the first, if I'm taking the second, from last also I need to take the second player. So middle in the sense of they are removing the first and last. That is what is this line. Am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
And then they are just returning the return last. So whatever the elements here, plus match them, which means that again it's called as a recursion. Isn't it?
Yes, ma'am. Like after if you match like the first and the last, again you're going to do it until like no other pair is left out.
Yes.
Ma'am, ma'am, just correct me if my logic is wrong. Like there are like let's assume like there are 10 players.
Mm?
You match the first person to last person,
Yes.
second person to second last person.
Mm-mm.
You do it on until you come to a player like the middlemost player who is left out.
Yes.
This is how the recursive function works out, right?
Yes. Let's say here I'm taking the 10 players as you mentioned. Like let me give it as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So now what is the length of this whole list? It's 10. So I'm taking 1 and 10. First and first. Second and second. Third and third. Fourth and fourth. Now here only the length of the list is 2. So that will be added into the list. So there the recursion stops. This is the base case, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And then what is happening? It will just check at the pairs as 1 and 10 is taken as a first pair. So with them, I have to add it like 2 and 9. With them, we have to add it as 3 and 8. Then 4 and 7. Then 5 and 6. Is it?
Yes, so the list returns like all possible pairs of matches that can take place.
Yes. So now they're asking what can be the match them is the, we have to do this implementation part. So what are the options could be? So Yeah, so these two options are giving us length of place is equal to 0 means return an empty. Here equal to 0 means return the players. Players list is already empty, right? So we want it like till 2. So this list will be taken, right? So this will be correct. And if it is 0, it has to return the empty. So this would be correct. This is not correct because they are just giving us return of players. This is not the correct syntax, right?
Yes, ma'am. You have to either return a list or the return list should be empty.
Yes.
Ma'am, but is there any condition that says that the middlemost element cannot be matched? Like in this case, 5 and 6, like they cannot be matched.
Why they cannot be matched?
Ma'am, I'm asking, ma'am, like that's where I had the doubt. Even I understood like you match first and last and second and last second. But when we come to the middlemost element in this case, like where it was 5 and 6, can they match or they cannot match?
They're matched, right? Because I'm just trying to take first and last from the bottom first, second and second last, third and third last, fourth and fourth last. At the end, I have come to the middle point. So I have to stop it, right? I have to add it to the list and then we have to stop the process. Because even that is also considered as a pair. Here, just I'm taking the number, so you might be confused. It can be like this also, right? 11 and 10 and 42 and 9 is also possible. So the number is not a mandatory. First and last player has to be taken. That's it.
Ma'am, what happens if the number of players are like odd, ma'am? Like out of here there are 10. Like what happens if we start from 1 to 11, ma'am? In that case, one of them is going to be left out.
What is given in the starting of the question?
Oh, it is even number of players.
Yes. It's 2 and it's clearly mentioned. So that's how we can be able to take it as a pair of players, right? Otherwise, we cannot be able to take in all the cases.
Yes, ma'am.
And also here they have mentioned the player IDs are in the descending order of the rating, which means first one will be the highest rating.
Highest rating will be at first, and the person with lowest rating will be at the bottom.
So we have to take a matches highest and lowest, second highest and second lowest, something like that. Is the question is clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So for that, what is the recursive approach we have to do? So we what are the options then?
So the first one should be possible, right? So we can either the player list is possible.
Yes.
The first one is a possible. It's correct.
Ma'am, first one is possible, and the
And the third one is also possible because third one is like if the number of players is equal to 0 means, I mean, the length of the list is 0 in the sense of, then we have to return an empty list. But the second option is mentioned as just the players, like this line. It has to be a list, but it is not there. That is why that is not the answer. Is that clear, people?
yes, ma'am.
Okay, everyone?
Yes.
Okay, so what is the next question? So match them as a non-recursive procedure, which means we have to use a looping, right? People, yes, what is recursion?
Like we call the file, like we call it again and again and again until the output is like given, ma'am.
Until the base condition is failing.
Yes, like until we get a proper output, ma'am.
Yes. So it has to stop at some point. Then we'll just move to the previous steps. And here it follows like a stack and we have to go to the previous steps and we'll complete it. If I don't want to use the recursion, then what is the other option could be?
The first two would be wrong because there is a syntax error. So init of players should return a list and not just the elements. The is same to return the elements. This is wrong in terms of syntax.
Okay.
Can you scroll down to the third option?
MSQ. Oh, it's NCQ, yeah. So that's why we are opting here the looping part. So just tell me which of the options can be the correct answer. Okay.
Can you scroll down a bit?
Yes.
First two are wrong.
People just check options properly because there is a minute change in all the options.
And there is a black. Yeah, black. Sorry. It's fine.
Here is the last option.
I guess answer is option B because
Because
because first it checks like is the length greater than 0. If length is greater than 0, then it adds all the pairs of list like all the pairs of list to matches.
sorry, my bad. I've just scrolled a little bit. Yeah. Okay. Why not option E? It is similar, right?
It's appending the list of the last player with the first in option A, right?
Okay. Yes. Okay. Why not option C?
Can you scroll down?
Yes, I have scrolled to option C now. C and D are displayed now.
Okay. C is not possible because of this greater than equal to condition. So equal
Yes,
to
exactly.
condition, that
It
won't
has
be
to be
possible.
like greater than only, not equal to 0. So that's why that option is not taken.
Yeah,
How about
otherwise
option D? Why it's not option D?
it's just taking the rest of the players. It's not counting the middle players. It's because if you
Yeah,
do the rest
exactly.
of
It
init,
only leaves the first one, not the last one. Actually, if we are taking the middle element, it has to be like first and last. Both has to be ignored. So that's why option D is not there. So the correct answer is option B. Is that clear, people?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Any other doubt in these weeks? Any weak questions?
No, ma'am. Ma'am, do you have any idea of weightage for n term, ma'am? Like other than for week 9 to 11, what will be the weightage for
Everyone?
week week 5 to 8 and 1 to 4?
It is not like that, no? It's like you have to prepare all the topics. So then only it will be easy for you to cope up. Okay. Any other doubt, people? Any practice assignments or graded assignments in any of the week?
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, I had a doubt in week 10 activity questions 10.4. The last question.
1 minute. I'll just open that. This is fourth question, right?
Yes, ma'am.
First, let me check. Direct distance, label direct. Okay.
Ma'am, this is based on the pseudocode in the lecture.
Okay.
So in the pseudocode, like there is a line which accounts for, like they are saying that the answer in the activity questions is like false. But if we
Okay.
look at pseudocode, we have this line where it's written like one hop distance is assigned as first, like from direct dist. So it is also accounting for like the direct.
Check. Mm-hmm. This is of direct distance one. Yeah, here is the one hop distance, right?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, this line exactly, like the one which is highlighted. This one is essentially assigning like the in the matrix, the ones which are directly connected as well.
So direct of ij is given. So one minute, actually it's just loading.
No problem, ma'am.
Okay, so here it is taking the direct distance of ij equal to 0 and give the
Yes,
direct
ma'am.
distance of t and distances. And then they are taking the minimum distance. Here, if this is not equal to 0, they are taking the minimum distance between
Yes,
the
ma'am.
joints and the distance one. So here they are taking the direct distance if it is greater than 0. And ik and kj are taken, okay. So initially they are initializing it to the direct distance,
Yes,
and then
ma'am.
based on the new distance. New distance is nothing but, let's say if I'm taking 2 stations in between, if that distance is minimum, then they are taking that as the minimum value, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So here the possibility could be minimum distance, or it could be the hop distance, nothing but the added value, or the direct value can be the answer, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Here it finds the path between these 2 stations, which has at most 1 hop route. No, right?
Ma'am, at most one would mean that like there is one or less than one, right?
Yes.
So it is taking for
Or we're
like,
trying to find the path. It's not mandatory, right? Sometimes it cannot be also. So at most in the sense of maximum, right?
yes, ma'am, like maximum one hop.
Sometimes the direct train is the minimum distance also possible. So one hop route is not mandatory, right? In that case.
Ma'am, at most means like either one hop or less than one hop, right?
Yes.
So like in the pseudocode, we have specifically inserted that line where we are assigning the direct distance which we had calculated to
Mhm.
like between I and J, so that we do not miss out on those. So that is why I'm getting confused. Like it is taking into account direct distance as well as the one hop routes between 2 stations. So like what case is being missed, which makes it false?
Which has at most one hop route. So at most instance of maximum one hop route has to be there. But that is not also like hop route is also not possible in the sense of then the path between 2 stations which has at most one hop route. It is not at least, no, yeah. So there is a possibility that cannot be also.
Could you give an example where it won't work? Like what condition is being neglected here that it's not true? Because I couldn't think of anything. Like I was getting really confused.
The procedure one hop distance finds let me just go through this again. Like, let's just see the pseudo code again so that we'll get a better understanding. The one hop distance is greater than 0, which means if the direct list is equal to 0 means
There is no
then it is
direct edge
valid.
between those, right?
Yeah, we are assigning with the direct distance. If the direct distance is greater than 0, ij is greater than 0 means, which means the previously initialized value. If it is greater than 0, they are just finding the minimum. If it is equal to 0, they are directly assigning the new distance, that is between ik and kj.
Yes, ma'am.
So there can be a possibility, what if the ik is not greater than 0? In that case, new distance will not be calculated at all.
And the direct distance would be used.
Yes.
So, but ma'am, like that means that direct distance also counted for. At most means that there can be no hops or there can be one hop. So, like that is my whole confusion.
Mm. Which means greater than or equal to 1 hop, right?
Yes, ma'am, exactly. Sorry, not
No,
ma'am,
less than or
less
equal to
than,
1.
less than or equal to one hop.
Which means 1 has to be the greatest.
Yes,
Like
ma'am.
this.
That is what I'm confused about in this question.
Yes. So let me just check the previous code also. Different routes between the same pair of stations. We are just finding the shortest distance in this. Yeah, okay. Let me do one thing, ma. Let me just check this within the before the end of the session. I'll tell you why it is at most. I'll just check with that. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah.
There one more thing. Like I wanted to ask, like we did not get a mock test for the end term.
Is it not?
Like I think it was released in previous terms since when I was like I posted this when I was posting my query on Discord. I did not get a response on it yet, but like so some other queries were coming up from previous mock tests for the end term. So like this, we did not get one for CT.
Okay, I'll check, ma. I'll check with the team and then I'll let you know by the end of the day.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, will we discuss PYQ?
Yes. Yeah, sure. Do you have any doubt in any of the PYQs?
Yes, ma'am. I have two questions which I have doubts in from one of the PIKs. Can I share it here? The link?
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yes, have you shared in the chat box?
Yes, ma'am. I did.
Okay, I'll check. I hope my screen is visible, right?
No, ma'am.
I hope now my screen is visible, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, in this which question, ma?
Ma'am, question number 13, 23, and 26.
13. Okay.
Madam, I
So,
could get this question, so I could understand what this code is doing. But I have a question with so can you go to this do something the procedure do something?
okay.
Like correct me if I'm wrong. So this P stores the max and Q stores the minimum,
Yes, yes. Because
right?
Q is assigned with the maximum value, so they are trying to check if still Q is higher, they are trying to store only the least values, right? Because K, if it is least, it will be assigned to the Q. And
Right.
similarly, you can see that in P, they are trying to assign it with the lowest value and they are comparing whether 0 is the lowest. Yes. So whatever is the highest value, that gets assigned.
Yes, ma'am. And then we return this list of the highest and the lowest one.
Lowest value,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. Can you scroll a bit up the code?
Okay, 1 minute.
Ma'am, so here B, when they update B, they call it last data minus first data. Ma'am, so shouldn't it be like first data minus last data? Because that should only give me the highest, because P stores the highest marks and Q stores the lowest marks. So, shouldn't I be doing first minus last?
Wait, let me just check. So for each C in keys of city key, okay, so city marks is given here. So it's the data. So in data, P is initialized with 0. So for key in the Y, so if the key is greater than P, so assign it with P. So let's say if I'm assigning 60, then next can be 100. So 100 is stored in the P value. And K is stored with the least value. If I give P is the first data, which means the highest value, and Q is the least data.
Yes.
So least minus highest. So in that case, we may get a negative value also, right?
Yes, ma'am. So that's what I was talking about. But then if we get a negative value, then
Minus something.
yeah. But then B is never greater than A. So will never. So both the if statements would return false.
Huh.
This one and the previous one as well, right? B would never be equal to A. So in that case, like if you take the absolute value of this, then it would
Then
make
it is
sense.
correct. Yeah.
But then I was a bit confused with this. Yeah, so I was a bit confused here. Like first, I should have been like first of data minus last of data. Then it would have computed the difference between the highest and lowest marks of that city town, right?
Yes.
But
Let me just
why
check
is
the.
it why is it doing?
Yeah, I'm just checking the question paper. So it could be like This is of which year question paper, people? I think
September
2023
2023.
September.
Ma'am, interim paper would be 100 marks.
Yeah, there it has to be like -6. If that is the case, then the question paper. Actually, it has to, what if it is a negative value, of course, this will not give the correct answer only.
Yes, so it should be the first data minus last data.
Yes, it has to be like first minus last. Because first stores the least highest value, right?
Yes,
If they have taken the absolute, then it's fine, but here that is also not given.
yes,
But maybe the options could be like, okay, here the options are list of cities which is which the difference of highest and total marks they're asking it, right?
yes, ma'am.
If it is equal,
That
it will be added in L, otherwise,
it will maximum.
yeah.
Ma'am, can we go to question 23 after this?
Yeah, yeah. Each pair of node with the same part of speech is not connected by an edge. They are checking the last and last, which means the part of speech is checked, right? If both are equal, they are checking for the compatibility. Compatibility is nothing but first of, so they are checking for the letter count difference.
Yes, ma'am.
So if the letter count distance is equal to -1, then it is compatible, which means J should have a 1 count higher than the P, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, sure.
Then only I'll get it as -1. If
Yeah,
it is like
otherwise
7 minus, otherwise I'll give it as false.
false. Yes,
So here, every pair of nodes with the same parts of speech is not connected by an edge. We need to check for the compatibility also, then only we could be able to add it, right? Consider a graph generated from the words table that is represented by a matrix M. Each node in the graph corresponds to a word from the table.
And so for this condition to be true and for this to be an age, both the conditions must be satisfied, right? So
Yes.
then only it returns true. So it's not necessary that it should be same part of speech, yes, but
Yeah.
the differences should be -1 as well. No? No, it should be false, right?
Let me just check. Every pair of nodes with the same parts of speech is not connected.
It should be connected, right?
No, it's not every, right? Because we have to check for the compatible also. Only if it is compatible, then we are connecting its edges, right?
Okay.
So it's
Okay.
not in every cases. So
Okay, so this should be true.
yeah.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
it's not mandatory that it has to be always. Because in some cases, if it is not compatible, then it is not going to connect. So I think here the answer could be true. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I got it.
Okay, great.
Can you go to question number 26?
Yeah, okay. So what is its parent question?
This.
Okay, we are getting the adjacency matrix. So in which we are taking the sequence number for physics, chemistry, and maths. And in adjacency matrix, we are trying to create a matrix with the subject difference. It has to be between 10 and 20. Both the edges are also included. Then they are mapping it. Okay.
And the first one is correct. In this question, the first option is correct, right? So because physics IJ, math IJ, and chemistry IJ could be one. So, and they could be 0. So I mean, this sum lies between 0 and 3, right? So either there exists an age or there does not exist an age between.
We are not taking the absolute value, right? We are just taking whether I is greater than the j.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So I should not be equal to
तुमने लिया कहाँ से?
what?
कौन से चौराहे से?
Yes, Mukesh, do you have any doubt?
No, ma'am. Sorry.
Okay. So here I'm just trying to check I and j differences.
Yeah.
Then I'm just adding only in ij, not in ji.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
So
in
ji could be different one.
Yeah, but GI could be different. I mean, if there exists an if there exists an age between I and J, it's not necessary that there exists an age between J and I, right?
Yes. Because they are, you can see here, right? If the difference between 10 and 20, then ij, there is a age between ij. It's not that j and I has to be mandatory. It can be or it cannot be. It's like a directed matrix here, directed graph here.
Yes. Well, so if we take this, the first option here, so physics IJ plus chemistry IJ and math IJ, for let's say for physics IJ, it can be either 0 and 1, right?
Yes. It can be between 0 to 1 because there is 1 cage is also possible, 2 is also possible, 3 is also possible.
Yes. So all can be 1 or all can be 0 or anyone can be 1 or 2.
Yeah. Either 1 can be 1 or either 2 can be 1. Something like that is also possible.
I also got the second option. So second option is anyway not correct because it's not mandatory that there exists an H from
ij
J
should
to
be
I.
equal to ji. Yeah, it's correct.
But what I don't understand is why 3 is wrong.
Ij is added. Ji is added. So here, let's say here all the 1, 1 and 1. Here all are 0, 0 and 0. Or it can be 1, 1 and 1 also is possible. Because next
Yes.
time when I take the j value, that time it can be a possibility that both are correct also, right? Like let's say 1 and 1 I'm getting here. Here overall I'm getting as 1. Or overall I'm getting as 2 also. That is also possible. Which means in physics he has scored high. This person might have scored in chemistry. Something like that.
But is it not necessary that the difference between their scores should be less than a line between 10 and 20? So in that case, there only exists an H from I to J,
No,
right?
there is a condition, right? Here the difference should be 10 to 20. So let's say in one subject, person 1 has scored. In second subject, let's say in max, IJ has scored highest in physics. JI can be in chemistry also, right?
Oh, okay, okay, okay,
Only in chemistry, not more than in other subjects.
okay, okay.
So if here we have to assume only the ifs, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
It's not they are going to be in the same subject, but can be in the different subject.
Mhm. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay. Any other doubt in this PYQ? People, do you have any doubts? We can discuss that now.
Ma'am, no, ma'am. I just had doubts in graded assignment part. That's
Okay. Others? People, if you have no doubts, shall we wind up the session?
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Interim paper will be 100 mark or 50 mark.
I think it would be around 50. I think it is around 50 more.
Ma'am, will there be another session tomorrow, ma'am? Like, if you get any more doubts, like if you solve question today, will there be another session tomorrow?
I don't think so. Tomorrow there is a session.
Ma'am, like in calendar, it was showing there was a session tomorrow.
Um, I'll check, but I think tomorrow's session is not there.
Ma'am, tomorrow we have another session, ma'am, from 6 to 8.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't think so. Saturday will be a session because Sunday you have a end term, right? So
Yes, ma'am.
you can
Yes,
just post in the discourse. Discourse will just clarify your doubts.
yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. Others, any doubts?
Ma'am, this question said that you will be clarifying before the end of the session. The doubt.
Which
The
yeah, I have
discrepancy.
checked more, but I'm not getting response also. Let me just check.
Can you tell us which question are we talking about?
That activity 10.4, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm just checking that. Give me a moment after. In between, if you have any doubts, you can ask your people. Here in 1/2, we are just. I think for utmost 1/2, it has to be true only because, yeah, it's not false, it can be true.
Okay, ma'am. So that means the tagging is probably wrong.
Yeah. Answer could be true because imagine that, like, it's very clear that here they have mentioned as at most, right? If it is at least, then we can say it's false, but here it is
Yes,
mentioned as
ma'am.
at most, so it can. So the answer has to be true.
That is the whole thing that got me like really confused.
Because the direct is also possible, minimum is also possible. Like new distance, that is added distance is also a possibility. So here it has to be true.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Also, ma'am, about the mock, were you able to confirm?
I have checked my if it is released. I'll check with the team. If possible, we'll just inform in the Discord also.
Okay, ma'am. Also, I had also posted one more query. Actually, I was looking through some of the sessions like which I was not able to attend. So two of the links were not working. Like one of them was showing like video unavailable, and the other one was saying something like waiting for. I have like mentioned the dates and everything on Discourse, but no one responded actually.
I'll check now. I'll check now.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, I'll respond by after the session. I'll just respond for that for sure.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so
In
much.
CT, you have mentioned it, right?
Yes, ma'am. In the CT subcategory, I have posted.
Yeah. So what is the you unable to find the YouTube links, right?
Yes, ma'am.
I'll check this and then I'll close this one. Yeah.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Any other doubts, people? People, if you have no doubts, shall we wind up this session?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Others?
No,
Yes,
ma'am,
ma'am.
that's all. Just the mock and that question you clarified.
Okay. Yeah. All the best for your exams, people. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.